What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we are at Rapid City Regional Airport for the 9th airport update for the fall 2025 season. Things are cooling down, like the temperature and even the number of mainline aircraft that we have here, but at least United from Denver is still going strong, but basically everything else has already been discontinued as we are past the summer season. So we'll go ahead and get started down at gate number 3 here with this American Eagle Embraer 175. This is on the DFW turn as Flight 3535, an Envoy service at 11:15 a.m., which is 33 minutes early. So American from Dallas, they will be twice daily through this next period until the next update in January, which will actually be the 10th airport update, which is going to be very nice. So took us a couple of years, but since this is a quarterly series rather than monthly like everything else, it will take us a bit longer to hit some milestones. So we'll celebrate them a little more accordingly. Right next to that, at 5A, we've got the 737 MAX 9 for United once again. Always nice to feature a large mainline aircraft into a tiny regional airport. This arrived in from Denver as Flight 1188 at 12:54 p.m., 17 minutes late. Now, United from Denver will have a couple fluctuations with the frequencies. Not too much major, really, but a couple will be dropped and then added back. Twice mainline still, twice daily. 7 to 8 daily in November, and then they'll go down to about 6 to 7 in December, and then back up to 7 into January. So just a couple changes with the CRJs primarily that they'll use out of Denver, all the SkyWest ones that they've got based out of there. Now over at the 5B apron, and I have the boarding stairs in place since Sioux Falls does have them. I don't think Rapid City has them though, but just to make it a little more realistic, I did put the boarding stairs here. So that means when this MAX 9 pushes back and gets moving, then they'll attach another set of stairs to the jet bridge here, and then that's how they'll get into the terminal off of the 737-800 on the Chicago mainline service, arriving in as Flight 695 at 9:47 a.m., 26 minutes early. United from Chicago with this mainline, it's not going to last much longer. It'll end this coming Saturday, October 25th, and then from there it'll go to a once daily E175 in November. They're going to have a couple periods without any sort of flights. That will be in December for about 2 weeks between the 2nd and the 17th. And then they will resume it again around the Christmas season, but then they will discontinue it again on Monday, January 5th of 2026. So different fluctuations there with the United from Chicago service, but that's just how some things are meant to be. Over to Gate 7, we have Allegiant, the A319 today, arriving in from Las Vegas as Flight 97 at 4:34 p.m., 34 minutes early. Allegiant from Vegas, 3 times weekly, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday is what they're going to go for here, November and December, and then they will go down to twice weekly in the new year, dropping that Tuesday frequency, so it'll just be a more standard Sunday, Thursday, since that and then Monday, Friday are pretty common across their network. They don't really do much of anything else unless there's more demand to a particular destination. And then on this side of the airport, we've got all regional jets once again. Delta CRJ 900 in the back there at Gate 6. From Minneapolis is Flight 4729, Endeavor Air. And to talk about that Sun Country service in the last update in July. That, of course, has long since been discontinued for the season. But this Delta CR9 arrived in at 1:34 p.m., 11 minutes early. And then for Delta out of Minneapolis, not too much to report on, but they'll go from 4 daily in November to 3 daily through December and into January, primarily on the CRJ 900. Our last aircraft at the terminal is this United Express CRJ 200 with the Evo colors. This arrived in from Denver as Flight 5556 at 2:40 p.m., which is 5 minutes early. And then the last aircraft for this update is another CRJ 200. This one, the older Unicon livery, since there aren't too many of them flying around anymore. That's why it's been a while since I have used it. But this will be heading out to Denver as Flight 5742, departing at 1:06 p.m., which is 10 minutes behind schedule. Of course, those delays will be a little more evident as we move into the winter with all of the de-icing stuff that they'll have to do. and I will try to feature that best I can in those updates. Since we're getting close now, the temperatures are starting to drop. We've had a couple days where the low temperatures in the morning are right around freezing, but then it will warm back up to about the 60s. So yeah, very excited for the de-icing equipment to finally come in handy. I've got a nice set of them from Tiny Tugs. Probably will have to get a couple more sets to be a little more realistic, but we'll certainly get started with the one set for now. But Rapid City looking very solid here this month. You know, I kind of wish that this airport had a lot more with it in terms of the unique services they have, like Charlotte on American and the Sun Country seasonal from Minneapolis. That's always a fun one to look at during the summer. And still need to do an update around the Sturgis Rally in August, since they do have a lot of new frequencies then for everybody that's going to visit from anywhere around the country. Obviously, a lot of people will travel to it by motorcycle, but for those that aren't able to, or if it's too far, then air is the best way to go. And Allegiant is primarily the one that starts up a bunch of new services across some of their operating bases and whatnot. So that will certainly be highlighted in the future, probably next year. So we'll definitely do a special Rapid City update then, since I have not done it the last 2 years that I've had this series running. But rest assured, I will change that for 2026. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.